Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches.
Hi, home neighborinos, and welcome back to another episode of Second Martha with me, Karen. Guess what day it is today? It's Tuesday, which means it's Pancake Tuesday here at the Second Martha Kitchen. And that means that you and I are going to be experimenting with different type pancakes for 52 weeks, hopefully, where we're going to check out a whole bunch of different variations of such a beloved meal. So today's recipe is going to be a toasted pecan, peach bourbon syrup pancake. So why don't we get on into the main area and let's start. This is completely off topic before we even start a recipe. I have now tried to film this recipe 5 times, and every single time I do, I swear to you, my dog Beretta decides to shake her head back and forth, so you hear a lot of ear flapping, drink water like we're experiencing the great drought, scratch yourself like crazy, so all you hear is thump, 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 thump on the floor. Losing my shit. All right, take 6. Let's go. So, the first thing you have to do in this recipe is assemble ahead of time your Greek vanilla honey yogurt. Now, in the original recipe, it shows you how to make this yourself. Let's get fucking real, okay? That's too much time. So why don't you just go to the grocery store and do what I do? And that is find a Greek honey yogurt already made. Then you come back to your house and you add a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla to it. You end up with this, which is perfect. And that's all you need. All right. So now that we've assembled this part, let's put that to the side and let's get on to our peach syrup. First thing it calls for is a large skillet. Well, I don't have like a plethora of skillets here at the Second Martha Kitchen, so I'm going to use just a plain old pot that I know can hold everything. So let's get that on there, and it's saying that you need a 1/4 stick of butter. All right, so that means that, you know, those sticks of butter, that's usually, each stick is a 1/2 cup, so you would half that into a 1/4. So let's put that into our lovely pot. Let's turn her up, and we're going to wait till the butter melts and becomes brown and foamy. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this or not. Our butter is now all melted, and we are just going to keep stirring, and we're going to wait till it gets to the foamy crackle stage. And then it says that it should actually turn a nutty brown color, but we need to watch it very carefully because after it's no longer foamy, it can burn quite easily. So I'm just going to keep stirring this till I hit the nutty brown color, and then we're going to start to add all the different ingredients. Okay, nutty brown color has been achieved. So let's take our peaches, toss them in. Careful you don't burn yourself. That would really suck that. Ooh, listen to that. Okay, so now we need to add our dark brown sugar, our bourbon, cinnamon, and salt. So through the magic of cooking television, I've already assembled this. So let's put all of this in here. Stir that in. Oh my God. Why have they not invented smell-o-vision yet? Okay, and we also need some bourbon. I prefer Jack Daniels. You can, of course, can choose whatever bourbon you'd like, but we're gonna need 1 tablespoon of this. Oopsie, oh, 1 tablespoon and a bit. Look at that, oops. Oh, clumsy, clumsy. Come on now, let's make this worth our while, shall we? Okay, so we're gonna stir this in, and we're going to let it kind of sit for a bit. It has to become a little syrupy, and the peaches have to be tender, which means that if you stuck a fork in them, they'd actually just slide right in, okay? So let's let this cook for a bit, and once it finally becomes that the peaches are nice and tender, we've got a nice syrup, we're gonna add our vanilla, and we're gonna set it aside on low. Okay, so on to the pancakes. The first thing that we're going to have to do is toast some pecans, okay? Pecans, pecans, depending on where you live, this is how we talk about them. Anyways, they're nuts, and we need to toast our nuts. And if you thought for even a millisecond I was gonna make a dirty joke there, you're probably right, but today I'm trying to keep it family friendly as much as possible. Anyways, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a 1/4 cup of chopped pecan nuts, you're gonna put them into a skillet, and you're going to basically just kind of keep stirring them over a low to medium heat until you can really start to smell them. Make sure you don't toast them too long because you will burn them. Okay, they have to be kind of crispy. They'll have a nice smell to them, and then you can stop. Put those aside. Okay, it's time to make the pancake batter. So let's place our flour, our pecans, sugar, baking powder, baking soda, and salt into a medium bowl. So we have all of our mixture into the medium bowl. We're just gonna stir that in. Now the reason that I like, some people will just madly go ahead with the wet ingredients at this point, but you have to realize that you need to stir everything so that everything is evenly distributed. Okay, so you don't want a huge chunk of baking powder in one area or even the kosher salt. Please make sure that everything is nicely combined. See, there we go. Now we are ready to put in our wet ingredients. For our wet ingredients, it called for 1 cup of buttermilk. Okay, we need to have a couple of tablespoons of butter melted, and also 1 egg, 1 large egg. Now, helpful hint right here for Heloise. If you do not have buttermilk, and most of us I know don't, and it really is quite expensive to go out and buy like a carton of buttermilk really for only 1 cup's worth. That's ridiculous. So what you need to do is you just take your regular milk, pour out 1 cup, and to that you're going to add a tablespoon, and sometimes a little bit more, a tablespoon and a bit, of lemon juice. That's it. And then you stir it and let it sit for 5 minutes. And guess what? Insta buttermilk. That'll save you some serious cash. Anyway, so before we can add our mixture, our wet ingredients to the dry mixture, we have to incorporate a couple of things into this buttermilk. Let's add it to our bowl. Excellent. Okay, so we've stirred everything. It actually is pretty thick, and as far as I know from the recipe, that's what it says it's supposed to be. So now let's heat up our griddle and see if we can make us some pecan pancakes. Okay, so here's the finished product. We have a lovely stack of pancakes. So now let's assemble everything. So remember our lovely peach bourbon sauce that you've had simmering on the stove, which by the way, smells freaking incredible in my house right now. You're gonna grab that, okay? And we're gonna spoon a couple of warm peaches on the top with the lovely syrup. Oh, good Lord. This is ridiculous, folks. Just ridiculous. Okay. And then remember how we had that Greek, vanilla honey yogurt? So we're going to take some of that. I'm going to put that on top as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you your toasted pecan buttermilk pancakes with peaches in a bourbon syrup. Okay, everyone, here we go. Let's try our experiment. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is ridiculous. Anyways, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining me on our very first Pancake Tuesday. And I hope that this recipe brings you as much joy as it has given me. And Lord knows it's going to be giving me joy for the next 10 minutes as I consume this entire plate of pancakes. It's the bourbon, I swear. Anyway, guys, thank you. Everything you need to know about this recipe down in the description box below. If you need to comment on this particular recipe, you have questions that you need answers to, please put it in the comments box, or you can email me, secondmartha1@gmail.com. I guess that's it. I'm going to go back and hit the stack, and I'll see you later.